What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by Lock City. It's Whitey here today. Happy Saturday. Hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. Today we have some Counter-Strike that we need to talk about. We have a couple of updates for ESL Pro League Season 22 in Stockholm, Sweden starting tomorrow. We have a couple of team changes coming in here. Virtus Pro dropped out. They're going to be replaced by ENCE. And we saw Lin Vision drop out. They're going to be replaced by Gentlemates. That unfortunately affected two of our four our straights, that we had on the board for tomorrow. So we still do have two on there that we'll talk about here. Obviously you can watch the old video. It'll be linked in the description, and I'm sure it'll be in the recommendeds as well. But aside from that, we'll talk about a new two-leg parlay that we have on the board here for tomorrow. So let's look at the schedule here. Obviously still the same start times. Games are going to kick off at 4:30. We have two at 4:30. This is in Eastern time, obviously. 4:30, 7 o'clock, 9:30, and noon. It looks like they're giving the new teams obviously the benefit of the doubt. They have to get to Stockholm in give or take around 24 hours. So Gentlemates and ENCE get to play in the last time slots here at noon, which is only fair. One of the first things I would like to call out before we get into the plays here, this G2 and Rooster matchup. I'm not going to be playing G2 on the money line. Obviously, I don't think there's any value in that at 1.03. G2 minus 1.5 map spread is like 1.12x. I don't think there's value in that either. But what I do think could be exciting here is if Rooster ends up taking Overpass. If we scroll down, so G2, I expect them to ban Nuke, obviously. Rooster, I expect them to ban Ancient, obviously. That would leave Rooster the opportunity to pick into Overpass here, where G2 has not yet won a map. Obviously, they played pretty decent competition on Overpass. They played GamerLegion, they played Vitality, and they played FURIA. But this GamerLegion 513 leaves a lot to be desired. I think that Rooster, I don't think they can win the map, but I do think it could be somewhat close. I trust them to win like 6-7 rounds. So like a Rooster plus 6.5, I think there's probably going to be good value on, or a Rooster plus 7.5. So we could take a look at that in a little bit here. But in addition to that, we can talk about today's plays. I just wanted to shout that out because 4:30 a.m. I'm not going to be up personally. I know a lot of y'all located in Europe will be, so you might be able to grab onto that. But either way, let's talk about the matches here and what we have on the board. We'll hop on over to Thunderpick. Those of you that watch the videos regularly, you know that Thunderpick is one of the world leaders in esports betting. You're going to see the link on your screen now, tinyurl.com/LCThunder. Navigating to that is going to get you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit at Thunderpick, all the way up to $600 or the equivalent in your local currency. That's going to get immediately matched by Thunderpick for you to be able to use for your esports picks, regular sports picks, casinos, so on and so forth. We've been using Thunderpick, or me personally, for at least 3 years. I know that on the videos here, we run Thunderpick on the videos every day. Y'all get to see the UI. So if you don't have a book already, I couldn't recommend Thunderpick more. You guys are probably just as familiar with it at this point as I am. But definitely a good book. Again, if you don't already have one, worth checking out. But let's get into it for tomorrow here. Let me back on up and we'll head to bets that I already have on play here. So again, I did take Spirit for 1 unit for the tournament winner, just as a flyer here. 1 unit, 4.5 times your money. It's going to pay 4.5 units, obviously. I don't know why that math was difficult for me in my head there for a second. We're going to take Energy. Plus 1.5 map spread against GamerLegion. I like them to win at least a map. You can see the full rundown, obviously, in the other video, which again will be linked in the description. You can find it in the recommended as well. And then Astralis, minus 1.5 map spread against Fluxo. I think they're going to destroy Fluxo again. Same deal. You can find that in the other video. The one that we're going to talk about today, I'm going to be taking M80 still on the money line against ENCE. This is a little bit more of a gimme now, 1.48 times your money. And I'm going to be taking Gentlemates plus 1.5 map spread against Heroic. So I'm going to run 2 units on that, and then let's place it and let's talk about it. So 1.99 times your money, it's going to pay 3.97 units. M80 and ENCE here, I don't think it should be close. Public consensus, I agree with them, 67.2%. I think that seems fair. In terms of maps that ENCE could win, realistically, like maybe Dust 2. Maybe Overpass, but I highly doubt it. So ENCE is going to ban Inferno, M80 is going to ban Nuke. That's going to leave Dust 2, Mirage, Train, Overpass, and Ancient. I expect ENCE, because they have 26 maps played on Dust 2, they play a hell of a lot of Dust 2. They're going to pick into Dust 2 here. It is M80's weakest one on the map pool. It only makes sense. M80, I could see them doing a variety of things. I don't see them picking into Mirage. ENCE plays a lot of Mirage. They do have a 79% win rate on it, but I see probably Overpass or Ancient, maybe even Train if they want to get tricky there, just because ENCE sucks on Train. But I would probably say Ancient. I do think M80 wins this outright. I think they probably win it 2-0, but I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go M80 on the money line as the first leg there. And then the second leg there is just going to be Gentlemates plus 1.5 map spread. So Heroic, again, as you know from the last video, I don't really trust them. In terms of map pool, what we can look at down below here, Gentlemates obviously bans Dust 2. Heroic's going to ban Inferno. I expect Gentlemates, they could really take anything here. I expect them to take Ancient. They could take Nuke. I expect them to take Ancient though. And then on the Heroic side of things, they're probably going to pick into Mirage. It is one of Gentlemate's weaker maps. And they haven't necessarily looked great on Mirage recently, Gentlemates. But on the Heroic side of things, I do expect this to be close. I hate these new jerseys also, but I do expect this to be close. I think Gentlemates could win this outright, but I do love Gentlemates to at least win a map here. I know this loss is scary to X Inner Circle, but if they're able to beat Paravision, they can win at least a map off of a Heroic team without Tanir. The new look Heroic, where these 5, as far as I know, have not played competitive CS together as a unit of 5. We've seen at least 4 out of these 5 together a lot, but all 5 of them together, this would be the first outing. I don't have a lot of faith in them there. So that's going to be the new play here. We're going to go M80 on the money line, Gentlemates plus 1.5 map spread, and then of course we still have Energy plus 1.5 map spread and Astralis minus 1.5 map spread as our other 2 unit plays there for tomorrow. That's it for me today, y'all. Looking forward to a fresh day of ESL Pro League CS tomorrow. We'll see y'all tomorrow a little bit later in the afternoon with a new video as soon as the games wrap up there for Monday's plays. And like and subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Thank you for listening. Take care. Peace.